Okay, sounds good. So your voice is cracked up at the end. Okay, so I'll start with my journey basically, right?
Yes, would
Yes.
love to
Okay.
hear
So
that.
all right. So in when I was at BIT, from BIT I started. I think building small robots that could follow lines. I think that was the most exciting project that I did at BIT. So I graduated 11 years ago from BIT Jaipur. I lived in Usha Colony, so we were probably the first people of first engineering students at least coming there. And which one? And then after building robots, that's what I wanted to do. So I moved to USC to build robots or do something in artificial intelligence. But turned out that they had a games program at USC. So the games program obviously was more attractive, and who doesn't want to build games? So I basically left all the AI courses and took all the gaming courses. And that's how I basically completed my master's, and most of my courses were in gaming and graphics. So, and then from that, moved to Zynga. Zynga was a new company which had launched Facebook games. So I'm sure I don't know if you've heard of Mafia Wars or if you've played Mafia Wars on Facebook, but there used to be games on Facebook when Facebook was just on the browser. So that was a big when it launched. So Zynga was one of the first companies that launched games on Facebook. So it was very exciting times. Joined that company. Uh, with first week, I brought the game down, which was very frightening because they throw you right into it, and you have to write code that is used by millions of players. So it's all live code, and I remember first time releasing code and everything coming down. So that was exciting times. So that is my first week at Zynga. But then from there, I moved into product management. Was there for 4 years doing product management. Launched number of games there, and build Zynga's experimentation system, which allows them to experiment. So if you play any games, so everybody sees a different version of the game, and there's always some test going on to see which version of the game is the most optimal. So that's a system that every game uses. So that is something that I built for Zynga. And then I started my own a company with my wife equally. So, and that's been a great journey. It's a lot of learning. So I think I've always been I like to learn new things. So that has been consistent in my journey.
All right. So, sir, as you said that you've done your graduation from computer science and then you did gaming and graphics. So, my question is, from the technical side, how did that transition take place? As in, from the technical side, you completely moved to the product manager, working
Hmm.
on the marketing strategies and all. So,
Okay.
so your basic education actually didn't play a big role there.
Yeah.
And how did you manage those things then?
Yeah. Good morning, sir. How are you? So
How are you?
I'm good, sir. Great being here, virtually at least.
Yes, it's so nice to see you after, I think, 10 years. Because
Yes,
2000, yeah,
2008.
yeah,
Was,
yeah, yeah, you passed out in 2008. Okay.
yes,
And
yeah,
and I'm very happy that you are doing well and just bringing more laurels to the BIT Mesra Jaipur campus.
definitely, sir. Definitely. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations, and our best wishes are with you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So let us just make this session more interactive, and
Okay.
uh, uh, and just definitely the students, those who are doing their BTech program in computer science,
Uh-huh.
electronics and communication, electrical engineering. Okay, when you were here now, the electrical engineering was not there. It was started 2010. Okay,
Okay.
so triple E branch is also here, but you know that electrical is the mother branch, then electronics came out of that,
Uh,
then computer
yes.
science came out of that. So
Yep. Yep.
more or less all three branches are correlated. So
Definitely. Definitely.
basic concepts are same. So
Yeah.
that's why just we have called all the students of all the three branches,
Mm-hmm.
even those who are just started their BTech program, first year students, and
Uh-huh.
they are learning just physics, chemistry, mathematics, but
Uh-huh.
definitely they have their in last 1 year they have got some exposure to their respective discipline. So
Okay.
definitely they are very bright students,
Yes.
and definitely definitely like you. So definitely they are willing just to know more about the technology scenario, more about how they uh, fulfill their dreams. Suppose most of them are willing to go for the MS program in the US,
Mm-hmm.
and so definitely your inputs and how they adjust themselves professionally as well socially there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Definitely.
that is also important just to
Yeah.
just settle down there socially also. That is very important,
Mm-hmm.
and so just definitely in next 1 hour we would have an interactive session with you. You are like our family member, or
Yes.
definitely
Definitely.
your inputs are very important, not only for us,
Mm-hmm.
for this younger ones also. And I would also just request you, just when you were there, you were
Mm-hmm.
the first batch pass out.
Mm-hmm.
After that, lot of good things happened at BIT Jaipur campus, and you
Mm-hmm.
would be glad to know in the last 10 years,
Uh-huh.
7 gold medalists. Jaipur has given 7 gold medalists to the BIT Mesra.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, the computer science and this electronics and communication branch. So that's where BIT Jaipur campus is doing very well. Placements are also very good, and
Mm-hmm.
moreover, like you, I generally just tell these younger ones that okay, academically, technically, infrastructure wise, these are the different things. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Any institution could match, but
Mm-hmm.
Jaipur campus is a blessed institution. Blessed
Definitely, sir.
institution.
And not only blessed,
Sir,
it's a great institution. Plus, everybody who's come in US,
yeah,
I've made a list of people who are in US from BIT Jaipur. They're all
yeah.
they're in the best companies from Apple, Microsoft, Google, IBM, Nvidia, Salesforce. So there is no. I don't think there's any dearth of talent coming out of
Yeah.
Jaipur. So
Yeah. It's a blessed institution. Whosoever is doing their program from here, BTech
mhm,
program or the BBA, BCA, whatever, animation, whatever it is,
mhm,
they are having a very good professional and personal happy life.
mhm. Yes,
Both the
definitely.
things. Yeah. So that is there. So may God bless all these students also like you. So
Mhm.
I wish a great future for you also, and along with all these students here. So let us
Def-
just make this session more interactive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Happy to make it more interactive. Happy to take questions directly. If that is, would love to answer direct questions. So, to answer your question, how did I move from engineering to product management and the basic education? So, first I'll tell you the formal answer, then I'll tell you the informal answer. The formal answer was that it is hard to switch because it's a very different mindset you need when you're doing engineering versus product management. Because when you're doing engineering, you're building a solution that is going to work, that is going to scale. It's a very perfect solution. So there's no question of what the solution is. It just needs to be perfect. But when you're doing product management, you have to figure out what needs to be built, whether one product has to be built or some product B has to be built. So it's a very different mindset. So first, it was very difficult to change that mindset because my mind always went into how will this get built, even when I became a product manager. So and what helped me in the education was the databases. So one thing that product managers need to know is SQL, how to pull data out of data, basically the player data. So when players play games, the lot of data is collected in databases. So the ability, so you have to pull that data writing SQL. So I knew that, and I that really helped me transition when I was transitioning. And the informal story is that for the 1 year, I kept failing to become a product manager. I kept asking them to make me a product manager, and I basically had no training in product manager. So they said, no, you're a good engineer and a very bad product manager because you don't have any experience. So you should continue doing what you're doing. So 1 year it took me sort of to become a product manager because they kept saying no. So I joined another team, and for that team, I basically implemented their how do I say it, their data, which is how logging how players are playing the game. So I basically implemented that technology. So because I knew how the data was stored, I asked them to make me a product manager, and that's how I became a product manager. So that's the story.
Thank you, sir, because that's what we need. Perseverance is very important, I think. All right.
Yes,
So the
yes,
second
for sure.
question is, the gaming journey started right from the USC.
Mhm.
And then how did it escalate after that, and how did the idea of equally strike?
So it started with so we wanted to do something in education and games because games, it turned out that everybody is playing games and it's a growing industry, and nobody has to be told to play games, they have to be told to stop playing games. So there's something, it's a medium that is very powerful. So how is it that education is not, doesn't have games? So that's how me and my wife, that's how we started on a few ideas, and then we registered for the X Prize, the Global Learning X Prize, which was a um, prize to create technology that can teach any child basic literacy or numeracy through technology. So that's how it started as a project, and we built a game for that, and then we became one of the semi-finalists in that competition, and then we could not become, we were out of the competition, we were not through to become the finalist, and that competition is still going on, and they still have to decide the final winner. So we came out in the semi-final round. So after that, we decided that we have to build this into a company. And then as soon as we got the green card in US, I quit my job and I started on this.
All right. So you just said that you and your wife together founded Equally and started working on that. So please tell us about the times when you actually couldn't see a way out, but Arjita ma'am came out as a savior and she helped you through. And how does her presence motivate you?
So that's a good question. So when you say when is a time, it's always that time in a startup. That's always like the scenario is always like that. And when has Arjita helped that scenario? Well, she has a very good ability to pitch. She's a very good public speaker because she was a English teacher. She had her own school in Delhi, so she has a public speaking. She's very good in public speaking. So she basically helped. There was one time where somebody had to go and pitch, and I wasn't ready because I was busy and I had not prepared. So she basically, without preparation, went and pitched. So that is one time that happened.
All right. Thank you for sharing that personal experience.
Sure.
And you've led the business strategy with a team of product manager launching 6 games on Facebook on behalf of Zynga, as far as we read. All right. So how do you get such innovative ideas? Is there some key so that we can also unlock the plethora of opportunities as a
How do
coming
you,
generation?
well, you said, how do you come up with innovative ideas? How do you think? What says they were innovative?
Because combining education with games is an innovative idea in itself, and then using augmented reality for that.
So I would say, so combining games and education is not that innovative, I would say. One, because so many, for years and years, education games have been built ever since computers came. It's just that they have never become popular. So it has not found the right way that it has become popular and changed. Now we have seen some games becoming really popular that can teach. For example, there are games kids learn their coding, basic pseudocode, through making games on some functional language. So that's an example. But yeah.
All right. So 2 years back in 2017, to be very precise, you you took an initiative to start a joint class with Zynga and USC.
Uh-huh.
Given both are such top-notch institutes, how did you manage to sail through that? Because they must be having their strict set of guidelines and norms to overcome those and to get things done. How did that happen?
Yeah, so definitely those two have definite norms that you have to sort of go through. But it's always easiest to see what is the incentive for both the sides. So Zynga generally wants good students from a university, and university wants their students to go in a good company. So that's how the sort of that relationship has to be aligned. So that's what I did. And what helped was that the new CEO of Zynga was from USC. So he really wanted to push for it. So that's how it basically got done.
Do
so that
we
so that was a program between Zynga and USC where it was a 3-year program where they'll build some games in collaboration between USC and Zynga.
All right, so we can also look forward towards equally helping BIT Jaipur in some way,
Sure,
someday in
sure.
the future.
Definitely, definitely.
So the first thought that strikes our brains whenever we think about a computer science engineer would be something related to coding, some programming.
Mhm.
But you opened a whole scope, a whole new world of gaming, of graphics and all, cinematic arts and whatnot. What else can software engineering cover under its scope? And why just software engineering? Because we are students from all branches here. So,
Mhm.
in a broader sense, what can the areas of application be after graduating from BIT?
So that's a big question. So computer science, and anywhere there are computers, there's going to be a computer. Those are all the applications that computer science can touch. So at this point, computer science is touching every industry where there are people, because every person now has a computer in their pockets. So there's no field that is not going to get touched by computers or computer science. So if and the new fields that are emerging, which has not been touched, is one of them is healthcare, because what has happened is in 2014 there was the deep learning algorithm that where the computer output beat the human output of recognizing images. So that has led to a big movement of computer vision applications. And what that has done is anywhere where human judgment or visual judgment was required, computers are able to beat humans. So what that has done is in healthcare, um, any doctor where there's any involvement of looking at some, let's say, an X-ray, or looking at images of brain or any scans, and looking at a lot of those images and making a judgment where there's a problem or not, that can be done much better by computers. So that is where a lot of innovation is happening, where the entire healthcare is getting touched by software. Then is let's take a local example, transportation. Ola app is basically just changed transportation. It has, because it has connected, it's not using engineering, it's basically how does internet interact in different ways, and how do different computers, whether that is right now in a phone, but then computers are going to move into every device. So your car is going to have a computer. You guys should definitely follow everything that Tesla does, because I think they are totally defining what innovation means. So that's something that technology and software engineering is touching. Tesla is a car that gets updated like a phone. So all the other cars, if there's a problem, you have to take it to a service center. But Tesla has software updates where they can add a new mode, they can fix problems like you get a new update on a phone. So they have put software inside a car. So that's the future of cars when it touches cars. So it's going to touch every piece and everything that humans sort of touch. I think internet, the way internet has changed everything, artificial intelligence is going to change all of that. So the combination of those two are going to produce new things. So that's a very long-winded answer, but hopefully that answers it.
Yeah, definitely. So, a lot of us must that work in. Thank you for that. And so, as BIT students, can you hear me? Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yeah, you are. Let's just is you cracking up a little bit. If you speak a little slowly, I'll be able to make.
All right, sir. How did the brand name of BIT support you in getting recognition? And what all sources and opportunities of BIT helped you along?
So yeah, I mean, right today only I was with somebody. The entire BIT Maestra network has opened up now because in the last few years there's so much alumni activity, and there's alumni network. Now there's all I not. I mean, BIT Jaipur didn't have any network when I came because I was probably one of the first few people who came here. But BIT had a lot of people. So now because of that, I was just today meeting somebody who was in IBM for 15 years, who are just to talk about something. So that has been very helpful. And so BIT brand is, it's probably one of the top tier one brands. So it's anywhere you go, everybody knows BIT. So it's a very credible brand that you're part of.
Well, thank you. And so for the alumni part, the last 2 years, alumni things have been so active. I think we all should thank the BITOSA team, the SARC committee, for getting us that network. And moving on, sir, the Vinci Club, the second product of Equally, you say is inspired from the science fiction called the Diamond Age. So the question is,
Hello.